Kozy story.
Katie,
You've
the Kozy
never
Collar
heard
Lady.
the Katie story before, and this is the Katie story, and it's the coolest story. Here is the Katie story. We're recording. You know. Hi, I'm Holly. This is my mom, Kate. We've been on a big journey for my whole life. And she has to tell you about her journey. It's really her journey, and you're going to love it. How did you get here today, Kate?
I came in the door.
Okay.
How did we get here?
Yeah. Your story.
So how did I start making a really good heating pad?
Well, that's part, I guess. It's the Kozy story. This is the Kozy story. This is the Kozy story.
Katie,
You've
the Kozy
never
Collar
heard
Lady.
the Katie story before, and this is the Katie story, and it's the coolest story. Here is the Katie story.
My biggest fan. You gotta love it.
Katie, the Kozy Collar Lady. Okay, go.
So I invented a product, and we didn't have a name for it, and it fit around the shoulders, and it was cozy, and people kept asking for the thing, and then we named it the Kozy Collar, and so it's a heating pad that's shaped for the shoulders, and it's the Kozy Collar. So I became Katie, the Kozy Collar Lady, and that's what I was known by for many, 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 many years.
She's still known by it today.
And so it's been a journey. It was it just kind of unfolded.
Okay, so can we talk maybe about the car accident? And then we can talk about the flea market, and then we can talk about Buckler, maybe, and then we can talk about how the internet came and we were too busy to do anything about it and too stupid, and now we're smart and busy.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, so the accident.
So the accident was in 1993. Holly and I were Holly and I was in an accident. I lost control of the vehicle because the tire blew, and I ended up in the hospital for a few weeks, and I had some severe injuries. It put me in bed rest, and
so now you're a single parent, and how many children do you have?
Two.
You have 2 children.
2 children.
A single parent.
3 and 4.
And you have this crazy car accident thing that just happened, and now you can't really get around.
Yeah,
either.
I have to rely on just about everybody to help me do everything. And so this is before the Handicap Act of '97. It's before the internet, before cell phones. Life was a lot different than it is today.
It might have been the early internet, but definitely no home internet.
Right. Well, I think we got internet in '97 in the house.
Yeah.
So the accident was in '93. Yeah. So the accident's in '93.
That's crazy because we were in the 82nd house by that time when we got internet.
Yeah.
That's crazy 4 years.
Crazy 4 years.
Fast 4 years, yeah.
So the accident changes our lives. Of course, I lose my job. We lose the car.
So how do you make money after the car accident?
So I apply for welfare because here I am, single mom, disabled, can't work, can't walk, can't stand.
Yeah.
I get welfare, and I was grateful to have it.
Yeah.
And then I applied for Social Security disability. So nothing happens quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all a process. And so we got Social Security disability, where I got a small cash allowance, some food stamps, and I got housing. Housing was great. And again, nothing happened overnight. It's a long process. But during this process, and again, it's before the Handicap Act of '97, so there's no wheelchairs readily available, no handicap vehicles, no wheelchair ramps. So therapy was difficult to get to, and I was told by my
Hold on. Let me back up. Let me clarify this story. So you're in your early 20s. How old were you? 24, 25, 26, mid to late 20s.
You're going to make me count?
No, I'm not going to make you count.
Okay.
All right. So she's in her 20s at some point. She's in a catastrophic car accident. She has 2 toddlers, 4 and 3, to take care of. And at this point, she's completely disabled. Her leg was severed from her body. We had a petition to get it sort of connected. By we, I mean my aunts, the older people in the family.
Right.
Then, hold on. And then, so at this point, then you're applying for welfare because you're just in such a shaken up mess. And that's, of course, what welfare is supposed to be
Grateful
for.
to have it, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, how did you get started at the flea market?
So, well, that was the therapist had told me if I can't come to therapy, again, handicap transportation, children transportation. So the therapist told me if I couldn't make it to therapy regularly, to treat myself the best I could. And he wanted me to use a microwavable heating pad on my neck 2 or 3 times a day, alternating hot and cold, along with some of the other things. But he didn't want me to use electric heat because back in the day they didn't have shutoffs and you could
Okay,
overheat
but were you
yourself.
on pain medicine?
Um, I tried not to,
Yeah.
but there was some period of pain medicine.
And you have toddlers running around and you're still handicapped. You can't really chase your kids are really fast. You can't chase your kids in a wheelchair.
You know,
So there's
I
a
tell
lot of
you,
safety for not
I
having the electric heating pad. There's a lot of good purposes for that period in your life.
did you know that there was a period of time that you and John were put in protective custody?
Oh, well, I mean, I must have been so young.
Right. So I didn't have the ability to care for you
Yeah.
at all.
No.
And so the the Department of Child Services put you and John in the category of protective custody,
Sure.
which would pay for full-time daycare.
Yeah.
And somebody would come and pick you up and take you guys to daycare for 12 hours
Sure.
and then bring you home. So I didn't lose you. You guys wasn't taken away from me.
That's nice.
But it was a service that was provided. And I tell you, it's very humbling. But these are the process. Nothing happens overnight, right? It's
no,
just
and we were able to stay together,
and that was huge.
which is great. And so it's nice that we had like a daycare,
I mean, you
so,
guys
like,
were happy.
well, we probably had no
There's
idea.
this
We had
time,
no
there's
idea.
this time you guys made me lunch. Did I tell you this?
Oh,
story?
I do kind of remember this, actually. I remember.
Right. So, I spent most of my time in bed with my foot up or on the couch with my foot up because if I wanted to keep my foot, I had to keep it above my heart. And so you guys decided, and I had fallen asleep on the couch, and you guys had decided to make lunch.
Yeah.
So here
yeah.
you are, 3 and 4.
It was an
4 and 5
everything.
at this
It
time.
was literally an everything sandwich. Ketchup, pickles,
Right,
peanut
but you
butter.
were too short to reach the table, so you made it on the floor.
No, we did.
So you took everything out of the refrigerator and made me this sandwich. And you put everything on it. And then, of course, you didn't put anything back in the refrigerator.
Well, I think we actually broke something, too. I'm remembering, like, broken glass or something.
So here I am, sleeping kind of on the couch. And you guys decided to feed me. And it woke me up like,
So we're, like, shoving food in your mouth?
It was very kind. You guys were taking care of me. Quite surprising.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You're
lunch.
welcome. You're welcome. So,
And that was just one of many stories. One of many. So,
so where did the heating pad come from?
So back to the therapist told me to use a microwavable heating pad, not an electric heating pad, because of the shutoffs. They didn't have shutoffs back in the day, and they didn't want me to overheat. So we used this rice sock type thing, and the idea was you stick it around my neck, but between being not very mobile or being in the wheelchair, the rice bag would puddle. It wouldn't stay in place. So I used it. And the apartment that we lived in the time had this shag carpet. It was like carpet from the 70s. Now this is in the 90s.
Oh, right. This is where I shine, you guys. This is my turn.
So you remember that shag carpet, or maybe you don't, but it was like 4 inches thick, but it's from the 70s, so now it's only a ½ inch thick. It's been
because it's been worn down.
So I'm using this rice bag thing. It kind of looks like a sock. And
I get creative, you guys.
Remember my situation. I'm not able to do much like laundry. People would have to come and help me. And you wanted socks?
Maybe. I wanted something.
So at some point, she cuts my rice bag open and she dumps out the rice.
Don't do this at home, kids.
And it's in this carpet, so it kind of like settles down. You don't really, it just kind of disappears.
Oh, so you said you have this kind of funny memory of me like dancing around in the living room, like tossing things up, but you don't necessarily know.
So there's a Disney movie on, right? And there's the little Bambi and Thumper, and you're 4 or 5 and you're dancing in the living room, and you got these white socks on your feet, and
you're just coming in and out of consciousness.
I'm like, what's going on? And the Disney music's playing, a little pitter patter, and the little white sparks are flying around your feet. And I'm thinking the pain medicines is happening, something serious.
That's hilarious.
And anyways, we don't think about that again, So we fast forward a while, and
so what happened?
We have to move out of that apartment.
Yeah. So,
but and again, it's on housing, so I have to make sure that the place is spotless. I don't want to lose my housing, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting on the floor, flat,
Damn kids.
trying to figure out why there's rice in the carpet. I'm vacuuming it and I'm picking it up, and then it clicks. That's where the white socks came from, and that's how come I didn't have my rice bag anymore.
You didn't have your rice bag anymore.
Yeah,
that would have been like,
okay.
Where did that go?
All
So what we discovered during that period of time is that they were using rice for your hot and cold therapy pack, right?
Correct.
So then that kind of gave you
that's
inspiration.
That's just information that's in my
just
head.
Information.
Right. So we move, and life goes on. Things happen, and this, that, and the other. And now I'm needing a heating pad to fit on my shoulders because now I'm in this wheelchair, right? Like the old-fashioned kind, not like the remote kind, but
kind right here.
But yeah, so instead of having a rice bag, I decided to make a flattened, ribbed, shoulder-shaped kind of pack. So I came up with this idea, right? So it's a heating pad that instead of a bag, it's collared shaped.
Yeah.
So it's channeled, it stays on my shoulders, and I can start running my chair. Well,
it's very clever that you managed to make the channels in a way where it doesn't fall
I didn't even know how to sew.
You didn't know how to sew?
I didn't know how to sew.
How did you start sewing?
I borrowed a sewing machine, and I'm like, how hard can it be? And again, it's before the internet,
Oh, but you told me that you were using VHS tapes to
Well,
help
that's
you
the
sew.
serger. A little bit later, when I got the serger, I had to figure out how to
because there's still no internet.
So I started making this for me, and somebody wanted it, and somebody else wanted it.
And then we started at the flea market, which no longer exists.
And then hang on.
Tragic.
So then the edge is faster to do with the serge instead of this.
Yeah.
So I bought a serger from Walmart, but I didn't know how to thread it.
Walmart sold sergers?
I think they probably still do.
Online, maybe.
I didn't know anything about sewing, commercial machines.
Did they have a VHS tape in the box?
No.
No, you had to find that somewhere else.
Maybe it did have a VHS.
Okay.
It had to have instructions in the box. That makes sense, yeah. And I had VHS because back in the 90s. So it took me 12 hours of watching this VHS tape, rewinding slow, and trying to figure out how to thread the serger because it's a pattern. It's got 3 or 4 threads, and it has to be threaded in a certain manner.
Right.
Otherwise, it doesn't catch.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the experience, but I wasn't going to give up.
No, and for me personally, one bobbin on a regular sewing machine is frustrating. So I just 12 hours.
Right, if you can master the bobbin, that's the hardest thing. It sounds like it's a simple thing, but it's just the way it goes in and the way you bind it. And
well, for me, the hardest part of the bobbin was the turn knob. So I would crank it back and forth, which would essentially do nothing.
Just not right.
Right. Well, because it's going down, up, but the thread's not going. So nothing else is moving. So you have to crank it towards you.
It's a simple thing that you think is just common knowledge, but it's not common knowledge if you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
So
and they don't have home ec when I was coming up either. So like,
I don't think we did surgeries in home ec. I think maybe in 7th grade I made like a pillowcase or something.
Yeah. So now we have the heating pad.
So yeah, and I've learned how to serge it.
And is this the time where people come to the house?
So my little sister's a school teacher, and she gets one, and she takes it to school, and the other teachers want one because nobody has ever seen a shoulder-shaped heating pad before, and so.
Did you invent the shoulder-shaped heating pad?
I invented
the first one on the market?
The very first
and then all these other ones? You would
right, so our
knockoffs?
patent was issued in 2000. It was filed back in 99. And then in the later 2000s, 2004, 2000, you start seeing some of these commercial.
Yeah.
But they don't understand why it works, right?
Oh,
it's a shoulder-shaped heating pad, but it's a combination of the weight and the shape. And then, of course, it goes cold.
Okay, so people came to the house.
So my sister's taking this thing to school, and the other teachers are wanting it, and then they substituted other schools.
Oh,
so it's kind of like the spider web. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, no internet, no cell phones, right? And then people started coming to the house and asking me if I was the lady. They got my address from so and so, or they got my house phone number from so and so. And so many people started coming by the house to pick up the thing. And at that time, we hadn't had a name for it. To buy the thing that the neighbors called the cops that told them I was selling drugs out of the house.
Hi, Editing Holly here. I'm here to say that if you would like to help support my mom, Kate, the Kozy Collar Lady, I have put links in the pinned comment below and in the description. We're currently using ko-fi.com/cozycollarlady.com, and it's going to have a full catalog of products. There's already plenty of products there. We are also going to have a discount code, so if you want to go ahead and get that discount code, it's going to be in the description only. And also, we are running a promotion to win a free product. So if you would like to win a free product, click this other link that's going to be in the description below. United States shipping only right now. I don't know, maybe. And then fill out the information, like the Facebook pages, and we're going to do a drawing once a month. At the end of the month, we're going to announce it on Facebook, the Kozy Collar Lady Facebook. All right, so back to the rest of Kate's amazing story. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support her, like I said, there are links below. Everything goes directly to support her, her business, her journey, whatever she's doing in her life to grow and blossom continually. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the show.
So now I have 2 cops at the doorstep, and they think I'm selling drugs. So I have to convince them that I'm not hiding the drugs in the herbs or something. Of course, they can see that I am physically handicapped. And so it wasn't too long. They decided that I wasn't selling drugs.
Oh, good.
But one cop said, you can't have customers come to the house. It's residential, not commercial.
Yeah.
You got to take it to the flea market or something. And then the very next statement, the other cop says, can I buy one? True story. So
did you sell it to? Did you tell them? What did you tell them?
I told them yes, this weekend at the flea market. So at that time, we had a flea market just a couple of miles away.
The Wagon Wheel Flea Market, guy.
I'm still in mourning.
If you don't know what the Wagon Wheel is, just look it up. It was 50 years running, and it provided so much opportunity to the community. And now it's gone thanks to
they closed for the worldwide
the 2020
pandemic.
situation. Yeah.
2020 situation. So anyways, I'm making everything.
So then you went to the flea market.
I'm making everything on a home machine. I'm not in business.
How are you filling it with a funnel and a cup?
A funnel and a cup. A funnel and a cup. Yeah, and there's a lot of learning. Like my channels weren't evenly spaced because I'm just doing it by eye, and so I made like 8 of them, and now it's August. And I'm going to the flea market. And
you made 8 to bring to the flea market.
8, yeah.
What are you selling them for?
Well, hang on, think about it. You got to sew a line, clip it, turn it, sew a line, clip it, turn it, sew a line, clip it, turn it, sew a line, clip.
Yeah,
8 times.
A lot. Yeah.
And so by the time you make 8 and filling it with a cup and
That's
a funnel,
but how much were you selling them for?
$20 bucks.
Yeah.
This is back in the 90s, right? So here it is. It's August, and the flea market has black top little aisles. And the table, the table is, it's got metal legs on it. It was so hot that the metal legs were melting into the black top. And I sold all my heating pads in like 45 minutes. Nobody had ever seen a shape like this.
Yeah.
So up until that point, I kind of thought it was pity money. Like when friends would buy a heating pad from this disabled lady, I had a couple of kids, and I was grateful. But then friends of a friend would tell the story, and people were buying them. They were buying them, but I really kind of thought it was pity money. But then when people completely outside my story wanted to buy my thing, that was inspiring.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking I'm in business. Like I didn't know I was in business.
And if we did, and we had all the business knowledge we have now, we could have done things differently. But when you're in it,
on the job training,
OJT.
So listen, when we started this, there was no email, right? Everything was a fax. Right. So you put a stamp on an envelope and you mailed it, or you did a fax, a word processor maybe. But there was no like technology. You had typewriters. You had the vanilla folders. You had a filing cabinet.
Sure.
So
and a fax machine.
Well, yeah, the fax machine was a thing, and so I'm going to the flea market, and then at the flea market, I met a vendor who said, "Hey, you should try a craft show."
Yeah, what
craft show? I've never heard of a craft show before.
Was it the Bucklers?
My very first craft show was the Bucklers, and it was in Orlando at the fairgrounds. So fairgrounds on one side, and then across the little street, little driveway was like the flea market. So they had like a weekend flea market.
So it
And
was like a convention and a flea market, like a
well, they'd
craft
run the
show,
flea
and
market every weekend,
yeah.
and then this weekend there was also a craft
So
show going
Buckler
on.
did a flea market.
No, Buckler
It was
did a
just
craft
separate.
show at the fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Which also
across the
hosted a flea
street
market.
from the fair.
I'm saying that because there's a difference between craft show and flea market, and
Yeah,
this is
but
my
not
first
in the
craft show.
'90s. We don't know that.
Well,
You find
so
out.
anyways, it's an outside show. I've never done a show before. I have to have a canopy. That was a requirement, so I'm buying a canopy. I don't have a dolly. I'm hand rolling everything.
Are your kids with you?
No, my dad went with me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So listen, the more I made, the better I got, and the better I got, the more I made.
Okay, but this is your first show. Tell us
But
about it.
I'm getting there. So it's like I became my own therapy, which increased my ability to move and do things, and I was grateful. So by the time I was doing my first show, I'm limping, I'm hobbling, but I'm moving, right?
Yeah.
So we've got.
Hold on. Did the doctors say you were going to recover your walking mobility or what?
Well, I died 3 times on the table, and they told me I'd probably never walk again.
Okay, so now you're up and walking.
Yeah, doctors are practicing and
died 3 times on the table.
That's what they tell me.
I don't believe it.
I don't remember seeing the light.
I don't believe it.
I'm a
Okay,
little
so you're at
scared.
your first show.
Ask our friend. She was there. So yeah, I don't have weights for my canopy.
Oh, you say Grandpa was sitting on the weights?
So we tied a rope to one side of the canopy under a chair, and then up to the other side of the canopy, and my dad sat in the chair to hold the canopy down. I miss him a lot.
Human weights. Yeah,
so it taught me a lot. People like the thing, and that was the beginning of the journey. We did less than $500, but at that time, $500 was huge money.
Did you sell everything that you had, or almost, or?
Yeah, I sold all the heating pads, all the heating pad shapes that I had brought with me. And then it started me on. And I remember the promoter. They're like, "Would you like to put $20 down to save your spot for next year?"
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, "Next year? I don't even know what I'm doing next week. Next year,
right?"
So I still occasionally do the Buckler shows today.
It's so funny.
And
it's
here we are.
Kind of cool that
years.
they've kind of lasted so long.
But yeah, and they've mutated.
Sure.
Business
mutates
and stuff. So that started me in the craft show market, and I got to hear feedback from customers. And
make this! Do you have something for that? How many products do you have currently?
Truthfully, I don't know. Well over 30. We probably have well over 50 products, but 30 well-selling products. Anytime I get in the shop and I have an idea, I just go, "Hey, what about?" And then I go figure it out, and then we test it, take it to shows. But everything's a job, so it's only 24 hours in the day. I'm looking for a day stretcher. Not the kind like in the doctor's office when you're waiting forever to be seen, because that seems like time's expanded.
Yeah. That's the wrong time to expand your time.
So
sounds like torture.
Again, back still before the internet or whatever. I did file a design patent. So we're back in 97. I've been selling these things, and I need to file my taxes. And in that story, I've called Social Security. So I filed for. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I filed for disability in 93 when the accident was. The Social Security disability was denied. Had to challenge it, and then finally received it in 95. So somewhere in 95, and then 97, 98, I start selling my thing. Now I have to file taxes, right? And I'm buying everything retail. I don't know anything about wholesale or business or
tax ID number.
You hear this from a crafter, you hear that from a vendor, and you're like looking into it.
And essentially, we're just people.
And again, no internet.
We have, no background, no internet.
Right.
The only thing to research is to go to the library and pull up their
Rolodex
weird
cards,
archive.
Right. So and so now I got to file taxes, and I'm honest. I've called Social Security 3 different times.
You're honest. Wow. I've
called Social Security 3 different times in 97, and I said, "Hey, I'm making this thing. You don't have to send me my check." And they're like, "You can't quit us." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm making this thing." And they're like, No, you fought so hard to get on Social Security. You can't just stop. You have to make X amount of dollars for a period of time.
Yeah.
And
you're like, but I'm doing that.
But I tried, and so I file my taxes. I go to an accountant. No, yeah. let's back up a little bit. So I'm having success with this, and I'm thinking I need to try to figure out how to protect it. So I go talk to a patent attorney,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in bedroom slippers because remember my foot's pretty damaged.
Oh,
My feet
sure.
hurt. And and I'm probably wearing a flannel bedroom slippers. And I go into this attorney's office, and I'm like, hey,
I'm
here's my
wearing a
thing.
flannel and bedroom slippers.
Very comfy. And you're working for yourself in your own place. You don't have to get all dressed up. So so this I show my attorney, the attorney at the time. I'm like, hey, I'm making this thing. Here's my story, car accident. And he's like, you need an accountant. I'm like, oh, that's probably a good idea. So he refers me to an accountant. The attorney does a sole proprietor for the last year, incorporates us moving forward. So now I'm a small business, and I go find this accountant, and I give him my shoebox of receipts and my checkbook, and I had done like $64,000
in the 90s
in
something.
less than a year off my kitchen table, and
And you kept record of it.
well, the checkbook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Checkbook.
Checkbook and receipts and stuff. It's not like credit cards and stuff like
Yeah.
fluently like today.
People want to offer me checks right now for services rendered, and I say no, thank
Do
you.
people still use checks? Do you guys still use checks?
I think it's a scam, but back then checks were the way.
There's
a little scammy, but
there's people a little older than me. They're set in their way.
Okay, but even Papa trying to get his IRS refund without.
No, even the IRS isn't doing paper checks anymore.
No, exactly.
All right, so moving on. So it wasn't a month after I filed my taxes, I get a letter from Social Security. It says, oh, it looks like we overpaid you. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to tell you. So I had to pay them back a little bit, but I didn't have to pay them back a lot because I was trying to quit. And I was like, so that was cool. And it was nice for the first time in a long time to be able to stand on our own 2 feet.
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
Literally stand on our own 2 feet.
On both of your feet. You went from being never able to walk again to on your 2 feet.
So here I am as a young mother, and then lose everything, and then struggle and try to survive and come up with the thing that people are interested in. And nothing was easy. Nothing was easy.
Sure.
And
you have 2 bratty kids too.
And 2 wonderful kids.
Yeah. We're great.
Yeah. So the craft show happens, and then I'm thinking, all right, I need to protect it. I'm going to do a patent, and then
I think the patent is actually what made people copy you. Thinking about it.
Well, absolutely.
Because once you put it out there.
So listen, this is the thing that I learned.
Don't ever patent your things. If it's a good, the government's going to steal it and it's going to off you. So don't patent it. And also, if you patent it, you're putting it out there for people to copy you.
So listen, this is my take on it. I've got a few patents and trademarks. I think your trademark is more valuable. Your name is your claim. And a patent, whoever has the most money is going to win. So I did patent it, but it wasn't too much longer. People started knocking you off because they're looking for the idea, right?
In the publicly available USPTO patent office, publicly available.
So if you have, some life-changing something, and a patent, some bigwig's gonna. And if you're just a small company trying to survive, if you don't protect your patent, it's like you don't have a patent.
Well, sort of.
The trademark is much easier to defend, and the trademark sticks in your name. Coca-Cola. So the name is the claim. The trademark's important. And if you have lots of money and you want to do the patent,
okay, so
run for it.
You got a patent.
All right, so yeah, we got a patent, and then I was introduced to the local vendor Walmart program.
Oh yeah, that seems like we're jumping ahead, but we're gonna actually have to cut it off here, and so we can jump back into the local vendor Walmart program.
All right.
So to recap, in the 90s. You were doing regular life things, and then you got into a car accident, sort of. And then you have 2 children, and then doctor says you're not going to walk again. You've died on the operating table a couple of times, and then through like a little delirium and a little necessity, you created this heating pad. So the delirium comes into the part where I'm dancing around in the rice, and you have So no idea. It's just like a memory, and then it like probably comes back to you when you're cleaning the
you're like,
carpet.
Oh, okay, that's what that was. And then
you're like, I can get fabric. Walmart at this point sells all the fabric in the world. I've spent hours asleep on the cutting table. Well, it's probably an exaggeration, but still. And then so you've made it to selling out of your house, and then the cops are calling because it's a drug problem, but there are no drugs. And then you're selling on the flea market. And then as soon as you hit the flea market, they're like, oh, what about these craft shows?
And then yep.
So you've sold out at the flea market. You sold out at your first craft show. Grandpa is helping you, your dad helping you, and silly solutions. But really, our family is full of silly solutions that like legitimately work. And then so you have your heating pad, you're starting your patent. And then I feel like you really did jump ahead with the Walmart thing. But then we're in Walmart. You guys don't know that yet. So we start with the Walmart wholesaling thing when we come back. Do you have anything you want to tell them?
No, we'll continue.
Life is crazy. Make lemonade. Hi there. Another edit, just a fun thought. If you are interested in being a content creator for Kate's Heating Pad, please also reach out to the email address in the description in this video comment so that we can send you products so you can help spread the word of this product. We have been doing this. She has been doing this for 30 years. We completely missed the internet like escalator, I guess. And so now we're just spearheading right into it. So if you've heard of the Kozy Collar Lady, if you've heard of Kozy Collar, we've done shows for the last 30 years all up and down the east coast of the United States from Michigan to Miami. So, you know, there's a good chance that there are people out here that know her, that have seen her at these shows. And we are just trying to kind of find that friction to build her audience in sort of an organic way. And I'm willing to bet you love it. And we have people all the time saying, oh, we have had our Kozy Collar for so long. I don't know anywhere who sells them, but I found you on Etsy. And because I have Kozy Collar as the specific item name. And then they're able to buy direct from Kate, the Kozy Collar Lady, to have their heating pad product. So again, links in the comments below. If you would like to be a content creator for the heating pad line, and there's so many, we have the stretching heating pad is so awesome. There are videos in this channel from previous attempts of YouTubing, but they're still there. They're still informational. Go ahead and check them out. Share them with your friends. If you want to be a content creator for this product, let us know. Have a great day.